of the month. Oh, look at this. We got a full house here. Holy shaditsky. Bjorn, Starboy, Audi, hello, hello, Triple D, what's happening? Thanks for being here. All right. All right. So happy Tuesday. We're back. We're back doing the lives on Tuesday. I told you guys I was gonna get the shit sorted out, and I did. Yeah. So I've been cleaning up some stuff here. I kind of got a wild idea the other day. Tones here is what? Oh my God, we're in the tone zone, guys. We are in the tone zone. You know what? That calls for a little wipe down with the rag. We want to keep it fresh and clean. And for that, Tone, here's to you. It's Tuesday. Nebula's Nexus, what's happening? And we got a seltzer, cranberry lime. But we are here. We are live. I started looking for some stuff because I want to take some Halloween pictures. Tonewiser. You gotta grab yourself a Tonewiser, crack that sumbitch open and drink it down. Drop a couple of fingers and rattlesnake stun them. Oh, hell yeah. Sorry. But I was looking for some of my zombie stormtroopers, which led me to remember that I purchased a crate, one of these crates, which apparently they put the sticker on the inside. So when you put your baby in there, the baby knows not to suffocate. So that's good. Don't put your baby in a crate. There's laws. But I had bought a crate to put some stuff because I'm notorious. I'm a piler, right? I'm notorious for it. I will put shit in little piles that I plan to work on. And what I had done is I took everything off my workbench and I neatly boxed it up and I just set it over there. And I forgot about it. And so I'm like, man, where are my zombies? I've got some zombie head sculpts I want to paint this week and put them on some figures. But I know I've got these zombies. So I started job along what's happening. I started pulling things out and then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, I forgot all about this. Let me set this up. And so I'm kind of like in the middle of halfway organizing. I'm not going to spend much of the stream doing that bullshit. You don't tune in to watch somebody sort through piles of things. Unless you do. If that's your thing, you're going to get about like a minute or two of it. But essentially, the good news is that I found a bunch of head sculpts that I'd been looking for. I was looking for one in particular. I lost my Bruce Campbell head sculpt. I had my gimmick edition Ash that I had worked on. I had a Bruce Campbell head sculpt on there. I know I also took it off and I had it in one of these guys here to get painted. I have no idea where it went. I think the cats ate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, good God, Moggle. He's streaming live. All right, here on the WWE Network for $9.99. I'm not really on the WWE Network. I mean, you could donate $9.99 if you want. It's not even monthly. That's just this. It'd be nice. Anyway, kiss the like button, yeah. But I had this, and he was gonna get that blue-gray painted on the armor as an homage to his armor that he had in Evil Dead, his outfit. And yeah, I was all set to do the head sculpt and get it painted up and get it on here. And I customized up this chainsaw, made the metal handle and everything. And I'm like, well, goddamn, where's that Bruce Campbell? Maybe it's with the zombie thing. So yeah, no, I didn't get the Black Series one. I want Quinlan Voss. Love Quinlan Voss. I have one of my custom knights, my White Knight Kenobi, or no, Kenobi, my White Knight Voss, who's going to be working with Kenobi and Gimmick, and then I have my kind of rogue renegade Quinlan Voss custom that I did, and I had those here because, again, planning on taking pictures. But yeah, I don't know where the fucking Bruce Campbell head sculpt went, but I've got some figures out, so I guess I'm just not going to do Evil Dead. But one day, But yeah, that's, I found a whole, like I said, a whole slew of head sculpts that I had been looking for. And I've got them bagged up here. Whole bunch of accessories and guns that I had got. So I got those squared away. I did find Zombie Stephen Strange that I was working on. So I've got the head sculpt. I'm actually going to pare that neck down a little bit for the head sculpt because it's a little too thick. But I've got that. That's going to get painted up this week. We were talking about gas cans in 1/18 scale last live stream. I was working on those. I also found some more of those. I knew I had another one of these. There's one more floating around, and then I had this. I think this might be closer to 112, but also I have, like, in my garage, I have a little 1.5 gallon, and then I also have a big 5-gallon one that's actually a metal jerry can that's quite sizable, so they can go into a diorama. This one's already been painted. This was a resin print. I don't know if I printed this or somebody else did. This was a resin print, sanded, painted up, and weathered. So that's going to go over there by the garage, or maybe it'll go on like the back of a speeder. So that was cool to find. Yeah, so I figured today we would work on some world building stuff. I'm going to do a little paint touch-ups. Actually, the one kind of my primary thing that I want to get done today is do a paint touch-up on this little building that I kind of treated like a restaurant, but it's not going to be a restaurant now. It's just going to be a kind of like a little sci-fi hole in the wall. Don't really need to know what it is because it's just something that's there that'll have people like having a cocktail or two inside. But the, you know, we'll put some things there to kind of break up the front of it to make it more private, I guess. You know, make it a little more personal. Maybe I'll paint this up and we can just stick it on there. It looks like an antenna. We can have it up in the air. Maybe it's a radio booth. Who knows? But it's got, I had done reflective tape in the back just to help catch light. I did a transparent dome. So again, light could be in there. I actually did the interior. I put up designs. I put in some sprues and pipes. That's actually piping. That's not sprues. From HO scale. And put that in there right here. Made cabinets. Put the little cabinets in there. Greebly them up. Made little shelves. So we'll just stock it with a couple of various things and make it a thing. It was a little restaurant, but I think having it as a... doesn't matter, right? It's just a little space, and it's something that will add interest to the background. I'm thinking of actually putting this over in the city area proper, because I need to start, or rather, I want to start adding some things over there. And I think this would be an easy addition. This is an easy, can be a quick win. So I don't even want it to be like a food place, right? I just want it to be a thing. I also pulled this out because this was one of my little walkways that I had done with the target balls. I don't know. I was like, oh, I'll paint these like the target balls. It'll be funny. I was the only one that thought it was funny. But I can attach this somewhere too. This will be an easy win. I just have to choose the spot where this goes. So we got a couple of things to do today, but just I figured we could hang out, talk world building, get some painting done, and yeah, do some art. Because I'm seeing, the reason I'm putting that like whole spiel against AI art in my posts is because I'm finding that some of the things that are getting a lot of engagement, and I know, fucking, no one cares about engagement, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But one of the things I'm seeing is getting a lot of traction online is people who are doing AI bullshit for their stuff. And I, traditional artist, a artist. I'm not, there's no such thing as an AI artist. Like, throw that right in the trash. But I'm somebody who makes artwork by hands. And we're going to touch this thing up. But the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what I want to put here. like right across the front, maybe at medium height, so that it's kind of boxed off. Maybe use this as a railing. I think that's a little too, I think that's too thin. Want something a little thicker. I don't want to dig too deep. That's the other thing. That's different. That'd be an interesting shape, right? What's up, Collector? Collector 425. I mean, that's a different shape there. Yeah. We'll do that. Let's, we're not even going to paint this. We're just going to scuff it up with some sandpaper. Give it a quick wash and then wipe it down. And then I'm just going to tack that in place there. That's going to be enough to break up the silhouette, I think. So yeah, let's get on that. Let's see here. What do we got? I know we got some sandpaper in here, but what kind? Perfect. Little piece of sandpaper. Not going to do terribly too much. This is just, again, to give us a surface, and we can make this a little more interesting, make this a little more visually impressive. So someone's going to tell me what this is from. I know it's from a Star Wars thing. I just cannot for the life of me remember what it is for. But somebody will fill me in. Another pirate for no reason. Hey, that's the best reason for a pirate. And sorry for the ASMR. Is it ASMR or is it AMS? It's ASMR. People who fucking are wearing earphones and don't like the sound of sanding. But we're just gonna do that real quick. That took the shine off. It's ass to mouth though. No, that's ATM. That's ATM. Paint markers are going to be a must for this because I'm going to tag this up some more. You know, I see I did some tagging on it, but we want more. There's like a, you know, a little Kylo Ren in there screaming, more! And we'll just kiss this with fire. Don't do this at home, kids. We'll pretend like the window's cracked. And that just helps with adhesion of the paints and such. Now, where did I put my super glue that was just right there? Like we're talking moments ago. And as always, as I go ahead and open up a new super glue container, I will immediately find the old one. And that's just like the song says, that's the way it is. All right. And if you're new to the show, smack the like button, join us, hit the subscribe if you want. We do live art here, and we world build, and we make toys and dioramas and shoot the shit. And it's a nice time. God damn it, it's a nice time. So, like I said, just super glue on there. And then we'll just pop that sumbitch in there. Let that kick in place. Boom, we got a thing that's kind of blocking that off, so it's kind of like more private. It doesn't have to be terribly private. It's not anything spectacular, but it also adds a little bit of visual interest. Yeah, comment, subscribe. You know, super chats are there if you want to. I know things are hard for everybody, so there's absolutely no expectations there. And yeah, we're cruising. So let's get the paint pens out. wanted to stick on here before we start. That is one of these little tech things. I don't even know what the fuck they are. FYI 19th Edge Blaine. Oh, right. That's right. The Kickstarter for the Edge that was on Toy Domination, I filled in for Dom. He was out on a sick day, and me and Joe, we ran the show, and we talked to the wonderful creator of that comic who's doing the Kickstarter, and like he said, he went against the grain. Instead of doing 112 for everybody, he went 118 and championed for that. So that's always appreciated. And go show some love and check out that Kickstarter. Gonna let that set possibly for a minute, if that adheres. I actually think it's sitting too high, but we'll do the old thumb clamp on it. Oh, Rad's here. Hi, Rad. Rad, it's good to see you. Oh, that's Fat Redfoo. I don't see Rad. Where's Rad? Rad, where are you? Oh, it's red. See, I can't read. My father never taught me. I mean, he wasn't supposed to. The school was supposed to do that, but I like to say that. My papa never taught me how to read. There we go. All right. So let's get to tagging. Purple. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Am I doing it anyway? Hell yeah, brother. There we go. We just need to get the paint flowing a little bit more. There we are. Yeah, I mean, this is just a Jurassic Park Atrociraptor thing, and it was built like this, you know, and it's got a door on the end for the raptors, but I just cut it out and use that for building a wall. I had it as like a awning thing, but just wasn't fitting the vibe that I wanted. We'll go. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but we're just doing it. We're just adding layers of shit on here so that it makes it look a little more interesting. And we'll also go ahead and hit these buttons on this console that I never colored in, which will also add visual interest and value. Just a little bit of contrast, a little bit of visual interest. And how bad's my hat blocking the view? How's that? We'll take that off. We'll set that aside. It's all cool, baby. It's all cool. And will be even more interesting. So we'll just use the gold. Oh, this is the bronze Sharpie. Excuse me. we'll just hit this thing with some bronze. Lay it on nice and thick. It is paint marker. It's not going to do anything miraculous here, especially since we didn't put like any undercolor except for the orange. But again, once we start just a quick pass of weathering after this, it'll help make things. But it's just adding more bullshit, more layers, more visual interest. We don't need to use orange, that's for sure. We can do some greens over here. We'll do a, let's see if I can draw a really shitty Rhodian. Let's see if I can draw them upside down. We'll just do a Rhodian, little trumpet snout or mouth, little nose, his head. And he's gonna have a big ol' eye. Do those telltale little freckles and bumps or scales or whatever the hell they are, pebbles all over him. And give this green one more pass. In fact, we'll do this whole guy green, except for his eyes. Get some more green flowing through the marker. And again, I'm just making this bullshit up as I go. And it's art, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's graffiti. It just has to sell that much that it's graffiti from a distance. Come on. Get some paint flowing. There we go. And then we'll do a mohawk. We'll do a, what color mohawk shall we do? Pink isn't going to show up, but blue will. Are you going to produce some paint out of this marker? This paint marker that you put? There you go. Do traditional Rhodian mohawk. And then, see, little Rhodian guy. I'm getting there. I promise I'm getting there. Now that the ink's flowing, go back in here. I'll redo those dots if I need to, the pebbles and scales and whatnot. And we'll just give it a little flare. There we go. Nothing fancy, no reason for that, just another thing to look at. It was a little stupid cartoon Rhodian. I want to get some of this blue. This is a nice blue. I know what I'll do. We'll do Okay. And you ask yourself why, and I go, because why not, right? It's just going to add some visual interest. Cool. We'll go. Doesn't matter. We're just adding colors at this point. We're adding layers. There's some people that do graffiti locally. I don't know them or anything, but it seems like their whole shtick is that they just get a spray paint can and, like, here's a paid bill. They just, like, do something like this. They'll get their spray paint can and they'll, let's say, a regular 5-pointed star. You know, that. They'll just do that a whole bunch of times. Not necessarily a star, but, like, say their little, you know, their logo is a, like, something like that. They'll just do that. And I don't know if it's because they're practicing or that's, like, all they do. But it's just shit like that. You see it, and I see it down alleyways and things like that, and I make a mental note of it, and I'm like, oh, that's something to, you know, consider with world building. And so now here we are doing world building. We can, you know, we can add something. So for pink, let's do... You'd think, again, I'd have the Arabesh printed out, or like a Mandalorian font printed out that I could just reference, but G I M M I C K, and then we'll add that there. Throw a random quotation mark. This is cubic. And then we'll let that dry a little bit. Like the menaces we are. I don't know. What is Star Wars? I've never heard of... what is that? We'll do STARPT. Gimmick Starport. And we'll put the quotation down there too. And it's just something to add that. And you know, because again, we're in the land of fuck it, why not? Does this reach in there? No, it doesn't, but whatever. That's cool. Make it look like a sign, perhaps? I don't know. Cool. There we go. Yeah, you know, I want to thicken up gimmick. And then I'll go back over Starport. GIM I C. I'm spelling out loud so I don't forget how to spell it. Again, my father never taught me how to read. Wasn't his job, it was the school's job, but I like to say it. Perfect. Welcome to the Circuits of Value. Yeah, no, I've never seen Star Wars. Remember, I'm a Firefly fan. P O R T. Gimmick Star Wars. It's backwards, but that's what it says. Actually looks hella cooler backwards, I'm gonna be honest. I need to, you mentioned Starboy, you mentioned the gimmick, the Rhodian with the Mohawk. I need to get some different head sculpts of Rhodians when I get an opportunity to. I might get myself some for Christmas. There's a few on Etsy that I like. I'm hoping somebody makes a 1/18 scale, the singer from the Chandrella ship at Galaxy's Edge, when they had the hotel, there was a female Rhodian singer, and she had really cool hair and looked really cool. And I would love for them to make a figure of that, but just hopefully somebody has a head sculpt of her, because that's one I'd like to get. And let's just take care of this green that got exposed there with a little bit of black. Scoundrel stock, yeah, I'll check Scoundrel stock out. I have a bunch of, I tend to do that, and I know it hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt anymore because they fixed it. But I know it's obnoxious when you go on Etsy and you see something and it's like, oh, these are in somebody's cart waiting for you to purchase it. I'm that somebody. I have things waiting in my cart because I just fill up a cart and then I look. But I think I'm a little, and I know I'm spoiled due to like Amazon and stuff, where like shipping is included in my Prime or it's super low price because it is Amazon and they've worked that deal out with the post office. But man, sometimes the shipping just absolutely kills on a purchase. You know, like I get things cost to mail something, but when it's like $5 for a head sculpt to send it in the mail and I'm already paying $5 for the head sculpt, I'm like, not that their work isn't worth it, but Jesus, Mary and Joseph, like $5-6 to send something this big in the mail. That's it's a bit shocking to the wallet, you know what I mean? That's why if I ever, when I do, because I will be, when I do start sending out items or selling things, which I have something coming up here, I've got all the supplies. It's just a matter of, one, getting the labels printed out for the containers that the items will go in, and number two, getting it all together and finishing one part of the product. But when I do that, I want to make sure that it's worth the value of shipping. You know, I'm not looking to make a fucking fortune off of this stuff. Like, this isn't my career, and even if let's just say by some strange miracle painting and streaming takes off and, you know, I start making money off of it, I'm not looking to make a goddamn fortune. I'm just looking to pay my electric bill and feed my cats. I want it to be a value for the people getting it, right? So, you know, I'm not just gonna, if I sell somebody something small, I'm gonna load up whatever the thing is that I'm shipping to them, because if I'm gonna pay that price for shipping, I want it to be worth the money. cool. And we'll add, let's just put a little detail up here too. Why not? Put a flat pass of black on these little ridges here, even though these probably will be so high up in the air they won't get seen. But you know me, detail oriented. I love that. I'm like, this will be a quick, easy thing, and I've already spent 20 minutes on it. Excuse me. But, you know, 20 minutes instead of hours, I think works out for everybody. Because I remember when I did this took me a long goddamn time to get right. Like when I cut out that there and made sure I trimmed it up and all that, like it was... I remember it was work. It was work. Am I gonna put this on here as like an antenna? There's no reason for me to complicate this. I'm not gonna. See? That's me exercising self-restraint, guys. Be proud. Please clap. All right, we're gonna let that dry. Let's make, while we're waiting, let's turn this into a wall panel just for shits and giggles. Let me get this dried up glue off of it. Go. We're almost there. We almost got it all, guys. Good job, Famine. All right. Cool. We'll make that into a little panel. Let's make it interesting. There we go. Just after I fought to get that glue off, she did. She had long hair, but it was like she also had almost like a pompadour, like a punk, not a punk rock, but like victory curls almost. I did not get the experience to go, but I have friends that went, and that was one of my favorite things seeing when my friends went, was the cool shipboard characters that they had. Disney really knocked that out of the park in going so far as to make sure that they provided entertainment, and for the price that they were charging for that, if we're being real, which we try to be here on this channel, but the prices for that experience was super expensive. And if you could get it, if you could afford it, man, more power to you. But I am just not in that tax bracket. You know, and I'm also single income, no kids, which, you know, I probably could have made that happen if I wanted to, you know, spent the money, but get out of there, glue. I need that spot. There we go. But I just couldn't reasonably afford that. I wish that they had, you know, given it some better thought about their pricing, how they marketed it, the whole thing. But the experience looked absolutely fucking tremendous. You know, the John Hammond thing spared no expense for Jurassic, but like they really didn't spare anything for that whole experience. And I guess they still do part of it on the Disney cruise ships, which is cool. I don't ever see myself going on a cruise, but stranger things have happened. Stranger Things is also a TV show. You never know. So just putting some stuff on here to make a little wall panel. Again, visual interest, production value. All those other buzzwords that I like to use to make it sound like I really know what I'm doing. What other greeblies do I want to put on here so I don't have to fish something out of another container? Found the head you're looking for. Oh, buddy. Oh, you meant. All right. I'm gonna have to check that out when I'm not streaming. I'll jump back in the live chat and check it out. This is an interesting greebly. Could do that. Nah. Could also do it this way. Something like that, maybe? That's interesting enough for me. Yeah. Where's that little sandpaper I just had? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bjorn. I see you just shot that over to me. And this is a side of a table that came with the LOL dolls. Ah, fuck, I glued myself to the thing. And I just disassembled, son of a bee. I disassembled the table and broke it into pieces because it was far more interesting to me in pieces than it was as the whole table. And we'll let that set for a minute. Once that cures, it's just another thing. And if I decide to, I could have like hoses coming out of those ports. You know, I've got gravity, but I've got all kinds of wires and things like that. I've got those tricolor twists. Got a couple of twists here. You know, I could fucking easily just boop, pop that in there and have it be something down to that panel. Ta-da! Space technology. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, but it could just be something. It doesn't have to be right this second, though. Or alternatively, is I could cut these, cut those, and have the cord be something. Doesn't really matter. It's just something to let the eye know that the background is more than just a flat wall, flat surface. That's one of those hallmark things that's ever present in science fiction, unless you're doing like really clean-cut medical lab type situations. Then it's a lot of round, smooth panels, but there's still always like that curvature of things that's supposed to give you that thought of, oh, this is a science fiction situation because it is a curved panel. You know, let's see what else we got. What else do we got over here? I got some other stuffs here. Let's, oh, gravity. Pay the gravity bill. Don't want to use any of those pieces. We could do a COVID test piece. That's interesting. A little bigger that way, but just enough this way. Yeah, hell yeah. We'll do a COVID test piece. Gonna go ahead and sand the back so it's got some grip. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and do one of my old favorite ways to just add a little extra tooth. And you gotta be careful, because I've done this where I'm not careful, and I've gotten myself before. But I go across it with a X-Acto a few times in different directions, and it just adds little channels and ravines for the paint to, or the paint, the glue to grab hold of. when it gets glued to something. So I don't know if you can see here. I'll mush some of the dirt and dust and everything from my fingertips from fucking around with that black paint that I just put my hands in. But now you see it's got that texture. That's going to help it stick a little bit better. So we'll do glue there, glue there. I'm not going ham on the super glue, but there's enough there and it's kind of spreading out. Oop. And we'll just set it right there, a little bit off center. There's nothing wrong with agreeably being off center. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I do care what a lot of people say, if I'm being honest. But you get my point. Someone comes along and is like, oh, your agreeably's not straight. You know, who gives a shit? I didn't ask you. That's what you got to tell them. Abby, what's happening? We are, we're world building. We're making stuff here. Let's let that dry. Let's do a quick mop pass of weathering. I'll just use a dirty brush. Do a kind of a sloppy black wash, but I want a little bit of brown in there. So we'll do some heavy-bodied burnt umber. Just do an acrylic. There we go. Cool. And I'll just kind of steal a little bit of that with the brush. Mix it in with the brown, or with the black water. Get a little more of that paint water. There we go. Now, I guess I'll start at the top. Pop that on there. Doesn't need to be perfect. Because again, is this going to get seen? Probably not. Probably not. But it just makes me feel a little bit better that I go through the extra steps to make sure that some of this stuff gets weathered. Because when I take my photos, you guys know I don't know what I'm doing behind a camera anymore. So let's get a different brush. I want something with a little more bristle. There we go. A little bit more brown in there. You'll know it's there, and that's what matters. Thank you. All right, cool, cool, cool. So we got Abby in the house. We got a full house tonight. I'm having fun, guys. Just get that grime. Go right over the graffiti, the keyboard panel. I'm pushing my brush in two things. You didn't think I was going to forget that little strip. Because I almost did forget that little strip. Okay. Get a little more water. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Oh, yeah, buddy. That's what's up. I'll make sure I get this door that's facing me. You know, that's the mark of a good streamer that's showing off how to do things or how I do things or they do things, is to just not show the audience whatsoever. Mark of a world-class streamer. So tell your friends. Okay. All right. Now we've got this shop towel. I'm just gonna dab that up a little bit. Take this here. go. Now we've got a really grimy situation here. Since I can, I'll do it in the, again, world-class streamer right here. I'm getting in the, like, the seam between the wall and the floor panel that's in there. Just adding some of that rust, some of the rust around the floor there, and on this side of the entryway, exitway, whatever the hell this is. Cool. I guess we'll add a little there. Cool. So now we've got that. Cool. And now we've got a little building, and let's take it to the next level, guys, shall we? You don't have a choice because you're here with me. Wow. All right, so I've got this little, I took a light, I accidentally shut the door on one of my Halloween lights. So I took the little cover that was on the LED off, sanded the bottom smooth, and I stuck a half bead on the top to make a cap for it, like it's some kind of bottle. And I'm just gonna use some Eileen's Super Tack, Turbo Tack, excuse me, and I'll tack that in there next to the cup, or I'll Turbo Tack it in there as it is. Get it? Because I'm using Turbo Tack, Eileen's Tacky Glue. Do you guys get it? Is the joke funny? Validate me! Just because you want an orange bottle in your orange building. I think that's in the Bible, actually. See? Now we got a bottle in there. And what else can we put in there? What other odd thing can we put in there? Make people wonder what the French toast goes on in that thing. Greebly. I made you out of plastic. Something I want to make removable, but I can put in there for the time being. I know, I got one. I got one. Maybe do I got one? Do I got one or do I not got one? Yes. We'll make this one removable. I'm just gonna put that blue tack on there. We're gonna stick a, oh, nice job, me. That happens sometimes. Oh, that's funny. I don't know my own strength, George. I can't help it. Damn it, Lenny, you've killed another one. Now we can't go back to work in this town either. I was just petting her like a rabbit, George. Little kicker here to try and fix my Gorilla Grip hand strength. Some people have a Gorilla Grip other things. I just happen to have Gorilla Grip hands. of Mice and Men is one of my favorite stories. It's a sad story, but it's also very well done. All right, so we have a flamingo, some bottles of booze. Oh man, that tickles me. I don't know what else I could put in there on the shelf. Maybe this thing here. Yeah, we'll use a little sticky tack for this too, because I don't know if I want this to be permanent or not. I don't think it matters, but I've got a little wheel here from something I took apart earlier. I'll just stick that in there, and there we are. And then one more thing, because visual interest. Something else, something small. I don't want to put a hammer there. I don't want to put that. I don't want to put a droid inside either. Fairy in a cage? No. Bottle of water? Nah. Yeah, so the jig's out on that is I'm actually going to be making, I'll tell you one of the things that's going to be in the Rusty Jackalope boxes that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be lawn flamingos, little 1/18 scale pink lawn flamingos, except they're going to be painted and have faux surfaces on the bases, and they'll each be different. I'm going to paint the beak, put a little eye dot on there, and make it corny, you know, like they look, but with fake different environments for the bases. They'll be randomized, but that's one of those things that I'm doing. I just happened to see that one sitting there, and it was too good of an opportunity to pass up, so I was like, let's go ahead and use that. One other thing that I can put in there. Sing us the song tonight. For a song about the fucking piano man. Harmonica guy keeps going all night. See, I'm not going to let this go until I make the decision of what goes there. Hammer? No. Little key. Yeah, why not? We'll do a little key. Boop. Now it's a sticky little key. Nope. No, it is not. Now it is. Possibly. You son of a bitch. Alright, cool. So now we've got a little building here. And that's got to go up on the wall. That little key did not want to stay. Okay. Until we take the key and we put it in there. And then we push it into the blue stuff. And we say, thank you, blue stuff, for holding the key in place. Much better. But just an odd assortment of fucking things. And then you can put your little guy in there. He's all like, hey, I'm hanging out. I don't have a head, but I'm hanging out inside of a weird little radio bar thing. We don't know what goes on in here. It's none of our business, because it's way too busy of a city to really pay attention to what that guy's doing. Yeah, so that's got to go up on the wall. Hey, I found the super glue I was looking for, guys. Told you. So we got that out of the way. Pick up these markers real quick. Just just give myself a little bit of stand a chance. We stand a chance at running a clean shop. Family, you did this to yourself. I know. Doesn't mean that I'm proud of it. But yeah, a little gimmicky building here. And that'll be going up somewhere. Probably over here. I'm just gonna turn you guys over there and then walk over there myself. Maybe something like that. I don't want to put it, because this whole shelf here, you can see, this whole shelf here is reserved for a bar. It's going to have an entrance platform here, which is going to have the food dogs on either side. And then it'll look like the bar, the restaurant or whatever is inside here. And then out here is the bar, the outside area. That's two. Well, I can't see that. Maybe just there for a hot minute. Can mount it there. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. In fact, I think that's where that's going to go. Yes. Hell yeah. And I will probably put a bead of liquid nail under there, but I've got Eileen Super Tack on there and also Crazy Glue, which will hold that, and it's light enough. It's on a level lip, and it's already glued down here at the bottom, so I'm not going to lose any sleep on that. I'm going to let that glue, and we'll bring this over there though and put a little bit more. Get off me, you son of a beach. We'll see if that falls and crashes during the show. It'll make for great television. See, we're doing things. We're doing stuff live. You got caught in traffic in the dream realm. Oh, that's for sure gonna fall. How do I prevent it from happening, you ask? Well, there is one way. You bitch. Where is it? There it is. Yep. Super kick. Zap kicker. Hell yeah. All right. So let's finish up this little wall panel, guys, shall we? Shall we? All right. So I've got this little random wall panel that we were working on. Let's do this. It's just going to be the theme of the show. Super glue and zap kicker. Zip kicker. Cool. And now we'll use our ill-gotten mix of dark paint and brown to just coat this wall so that we can then weather it once this dries. Or maybe I just weather the orange with this and then paint the other pieces. Who the frick knows? Even I don't know what I'm doing today. That's art, baby. That's hip-hop. It's like poetry. It rhymes. It repeats itself over and over again. It's similar, but not the same. Let's see. That actually makes that look pretty fucking cool if you ask me. What up, Ant? Look who it is, Mr. fucking Social Butterfly all of a sudden. Too cool for school. You missed it. I fucking made a building, and then I super glued it to the wall, and everybody thought it was going to fall, and it didn't. And by everybody, I mean me. Now we're going with just the black acrylic. You know me, I love to base and prime everything in this apple barrel black acrylic. Till I find something I like better. This is what you can guess. You'd be like, Famine, what do you use for your primer, man? What's your fucking secret? I don't have any secrets. I put everything I do on the internet for people to learn from. But if you're asking what product I use, well, it's no secret. It's apple barrel. Developed in 1953, apple barrel paint. I'm kidding. Could you imagine if this was actually just one long advertisement for apple barrel paints? It's like he took fucking 67 minutes to get to the commercial. It was crazy. We called the police because we thought maybe he was being held hostage. They kicked the door down and shot him. They said there was a guy with a blaster behind him, and they thought they had to shoot him to save his life. Sorry. seamless product placement. You know, sometimes I do bust a seam in my clothes, and that's when I count on Arlene's Fabric Fusion. This amazing adhesive really does fix your tears. Works great on all kinds of material from denim, canvas, khaki, silk, and even in a pinch, lace. So please check out Arlene Super Tacky. See, Abby knows. Abby's on the take too. Big Paint has us by the by the purse strings, right, Abby? Oh God. Famine, we know you have the hairdryer right there. Why don't you use it? Why don't you use it? What's stopping you? What's stopping you from using it? Nothing. Fucking zero. Jesse is staring at the dude, daring him to laugh at something awful. You'll have to send it to me. It's not ringing a bell in my brain. Like Jesse Pinkman? Or Jesse from Pokemon, of Team Rocket fame. Jesse, James, thanks for stopping in, Starboy. Appreciate the support. Glad you were able to make it in and get some nerd time. Room alarm about a foot tall. Your rudimentary sensor. He does too. Uncle Jesse. Okay. He has a sensor in his torso that I've covered up right now because I don't have his animated thing turned on because I got work to do on him before I want him fucking swinging around. But yeah, he's got a sensor right in his abdomen plate. That looked unfortunate, like me. Like I'm DJ Diddles over here. Not on this. That's the after show. $9.99. What? Blast them. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I haven't, knock on wood, I have not forgotten that he's there yet. The only time where I've been kind of like, is when I was taking a selfie and I leaned back in my chair this way, and so it created that visual appearance like he was leaning into frame, and it kind of like threw me for a little bit. So, you know, sometimes little stormtrooper leans in for a shot, he's feeling good, and he's like, hey, get me in the frame. I'm like, fucking, no, we aren't doing that. I think the next custom that I'm going to finish is my Tuscan cowboy that I built. I just need to fix the hat and add one more spike on there and then paint it up. But I kit bashed a lot of the pieces, sculpted the midsection with EVA foam to bulk it out because I think the buck that I borrowed from is a female buck, but I put male lower legs on it because I wanted it to be a guy, kind of androgynous Tuscan, but also just a little Western Tuscan. Like a rhinestone cowboy. Sorry. Did you say a pimp cane? Best I can do is a pipe cane. But no, it's not a It's not a pimp. That's a little straw hat. Almost like a riverboat gambler cap, sir. Well, yes, but no. It's from Iron Fist, actually. But I think it's the same one that comes with Phoenix and Doctor Strange and Jean Grey. Phoenix. But yeah, that came off of the white and gold Iron Fist. You absolute psychopath, spotting that immediately. Next, when I remove the sash from Elektra, are you gonna spot that on something and be like, "Oh, is that Elektra's sash?" He's the Rain Man of parts over there. He just knows them all. About the which time? You're asking my brain to do a lot at whatever time o'clock at night it is. I worked all day. My hands are killing me, actually. Because it was nonstop. It was nonstop typing today. It was a very busy day. A lot of people needed assistance today, and so that's what we did. Assisted the shit out of them. I'm going to mute the microphone, and I'm going to use the hairdryer because I don't want to wait for this to dry. Classic Luke Cage for the nightclub. Hell yeah. Any Luke Cage. I am a big proponent of any of the Defenders, really. Heroes for Hire. Oh no. The super glue is leaking from the container. We have breached containment. Lock down the entire block. We must stop it from spreading everywhere. I will sacrifice myself. Tell my family I love them. Why are you walking into the radiation? Is my way of sacrificing self for country and man. Bjorn, how much is that 118 Luke Cage? See how I said it louder than other people so that I could get first dibs? The fuck is wrong with me? I've got gunmetal, and I'm gonna get this water off the handle here. Do this piece in gunmetal first. You already know how I do. And it's okay if I get silver on there because I say so. And then I'll just, for shits and giggles, That little guy will get some gunmetal. And this one will get a full gunmetal coating because I want it to be a different piece of material. And gunmetal is a great base for that. So we work with what we already have on our paintbrush. Or I work with what I already have on my paintbrush. You can do whatever you want. I am not your boss. I just show you how I do it and tell you the things I've learned. It's your job to take it and run with it, start a family, open a small diner in a small town, really ingratiate yourself in the community. Then one day, they discover that you can't age. And so the townspeople call you a witch, and they try and burn you at the stake, and you and your family have to flee, and you start over again in a small town in Maine. And you think that you'll be the strangest thing that goes on there. But it turns out that this small town is written by Stephen King. And shit's about to get a lot weirder. Where do I come up with this stuff? I really don't know. I blame Adam. You hear that, Sightsee? I blame you. Do I have anything else that I want to put silver on before I clean my brush? Let's dry brush this little guy. 118 Woo. Whole numbers thing. Oh, right. No, I'll just say this. It wasn't a problem when Obama was president. You know, just putting it out there. This is one of Aegis Station's pup droids. And I want to weather this guy and customize him, and I am. This is one of his FDM printed ones. So it is not resin. It is filament. And now he's got a little nice metallic dry brush on him for future weathering and rusting and griming up. Oop, let's do this. Let's get his little feet too. Get his underbelly, his undercarriage, as the kids say. None of the kids say that, famine. Well, they would if they were cool like me. Get that, and yeah, clean that off the brush. Right. A little dirty wash here. Very excellent camera work as I work off screen and then show you guys my completed weathering efforts. Very good at that. And let's do a... what color? Orange and blue. Yeah, we'll do a light turquoise and try something here. Is it going to turn out good? No idea. Am I going to do it anyway? Hell yeah. Not necessarily a dry brush, but trying something here. Just something to... Where's that? Yeah, you're not going to catch me slipping this time, science. Science and physics and gravity. And then this goes, yeah. Yeah, it's just a little something to help break it up. Help sell that it was from somewhere else. And let's further that by at the bottom of the panel. Yeah. Don't forget to share. Oh, yeah. Payment, you use acrylic inks. Yes, I do use acrylic ink. I actually just grabbed the acrylic ink. But yes, I use it to paint. I know some people do use it for scrapbooking. But I like to use acrylic inks for weathering a lot. Like, I love acrylic inks because you can really dilute them and apply them. They mix with acrylic paints, but they're just, I think they're the fucking bee's knees. And they're good for shading too. Like, I'll get that for shading. So let's do, we'll use this right now for a little bit of weathering. There we go. We'll use that. So I just take that and place it in the recesses because it looks like rusty water. Burnt sienna. Always looks like rust, and as it evaporates, because the alcohol in the water that's in it, it stains a little bit and then pulls in tight, so it leaves that watery effect of like a lot of excess moisture collected here. It's since rusted and dried out. Maybe it's happened a few times, but it's like one of those really cool effects. And I like to just find spots where you think water would accumulate and then just draw a single line across it. So that's why I was saying, like down here at the bottom, I'll go all the way across and I just work away. And it's, again, it's where water would condense and collect. And I think it gives a really cool result. Like, we'll go right down here. Like, maybe water just found that as a path. Because you look where water dribbles and runs, and it's always the path of least resistance. And then because of the surface tension, water will follow itself and follow other water down. So it's a great way, and you can gradually build it up. Like, hey, while it's down here at the bottom, it is going to pool up, because I'm just going to put it against another plate or something like that, so it's going to look like the edge. So it'll pool up down there, and it just adds that extra layer of depth and extra color. And like, you can also just little tucked in areas like that. And take it and right underneath that. And it just gives a little bit extra depth to things, a little bit extra detail. And I think it makes it look interesting. Put that off there. I've got it all in my hands. It's a very exciting time for me. Yeah, hell yeah. So we got a cool building up there. Boom, we added a new thing to the wall. And then we got a wall panel that I'll stick up somewhere. But it's, again, just a piece of plastic that I cut out from one of those Jurassic things, but you could use a flat piece of package plastic. The inside of a COVID test kit, piece of an LOL doll thing, a cockpit from a snap together X-Wing, no, snowspeeder kit, and a piece of MDF that was shaped a little funny. So I was like, okay, that'll be part of a wall panel. And boom, you got it. Like, doesn't have to be complicated. We just layered together colors and washes. This, again, this black and brown was just all paint mixed with paint water. And, yeah. Why does it look like my camera lens is dirty again? I haven't touched the lens, did I? Did I touch it with my hands, guys? Oh, you. Or did I turn that goddamn feature on again? It's good lighting. Yeah, you know. Name's Famine. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I usually talk with my voice this deep. And like I said, I can plug in cords. And let's, you know, to hell with it. Yeah, we'll do this red and black. We'll plug a cord in the top there. And just plug it into the bottom. Bottom. Ah, super glued myself to it again. Son of a bitch. There we go. Zip kicker, whatever you want to fucking call it. Yeah. Then just drape that wire down. I'm gonna tack it with a little super glue right there. And again, kicker right on there, holds that in place, and then we'll just stick these wires into that panel. So that means we'll go super glue here, same trick, and then super glue here. If I don't glue myself together, I'll be amazed one of these days when I actually successfully build something without gluing myself. And we've done that. Then we will just use, again, paint water brush little bit of black paint. It's really runny. Just to dirty up that cord, that wire. Ta-da! Sci-fi, mother truckers. I guess I gotta glue that down because the glue didn't glue. Boop. There we go. Cool, there we go. Now we go. We're done. We don't have to do anything else. And you could just, you know, you do yours. You could just continue to add things to it, build up on it. And one of the cool things that I like about this is that because this piece sticks out a little bit further, a little more proud, I can still set a wall piece here and not have that interfere with it at all. So, hell yeah. All right, cats and kittens, I am calling it for the night. Thank you for being here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the like button, you know, click the share button, share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. Do have the Patreon, always helps. I don't expect it, but it is linked in the bio. Also have a Ko-Fi if you want to buy me a coffee, because sometimes seltzer doesn't, seltzer doesn't always keep you awake, but we do this Tuesdays. I stream on weekends sometimes. And we world build here and we do real art. No AI bullshit. Just real artists doing things, and we like to hang out and chat. So I hope you guys are well. Thank you for being here. And I'll catch you in the next one. And don't forget to too sweet me.